everyone, welcome back to our Nano No Filter Reef Tank series. This is episode 5.
This week we're going to be adding one of our favorites, another rock flower anemone, and dipping our toes into the world of large polyp stony corals, or LPS, for the first time. Okay, so we're going to give you some tips and tricks, care guides for LPS, the difference between that and the soft corals that we already have, and talk about Euphylia corals specifically, because that's what we're adding. All right, let's get into it.
First, here's a quick update on how the new zoas are doing. They've grown a lot in the last few weeks and have almost doubled in size. Just check out the difference between when we first got them and now. Hopefully, one day this whole rock right here will be a zoa garden.
This week we got 2 special additions for the tank. We brought them home and drip acclimated them for several hours like usual. We love our rock flower anemone, so when we saw a bright green one, we couldn't resist grabbing it. If you want to learn more about keeping these, check out our other video. This one has a reddish pink center with long neon green tentacles. Last time we drip acclimated the anemone in a cup and it latched onto the wall with its foot and it was super hard to remove. We have learned from our mistakes, and this time we left it in the bag and it did not latch onto the wall.
We tried adding it along the live rock, but like our other rock flower, it quickly decided that it wanted to bury its foot in the substrate and walked a bit. Our sexy shrimp bounced back and forth between these 2 anemones now.
Next up, we added our first LPS coral. So far, we've only had soft corals in our tank, which, like their name implies, are soft and they don't have a hard skeleton. They typically are hardier, don't require as much light, and grow very quickly. Now, we're taking our first step into the world of LPS. LPS corals stands for large polyp stony corals. These corals form a hard skeleton which has large, often wavy polyps extending from it. They need to take in calcium and carbonate from the water to build this skeleton.
Now that our tank has been up and running for a few months and the soft corals are doing well, we figured we're ready to make the leap. Some people will dose their tanks with crucial minerals once they start keeping stony corals, since they will slowly deplete the calcium in the water as they grow. However, we're just going to rely on our water changes every 2 weeks to replenish it for now. Remember, we're showing you guys how affordable and easy reef keeping can be. Since we don't test our water parameters either, we'll be checking on the LPS growth, and if it seems to be slowing down, we might run some tests and start dosing if needed.
Specifically, we're adding a Euphylia coral today. Euphylia coral are split into hammers, torches, and frogspawn. Each of these consist of a hard skeleton with soft tentacles radiating from it. These tentacles often have a different color than their tips, which can make for all sorts of cool color combinations. Torches are the easiest to spot, with very long tentacles with one round tip. Hammers are similar, with shorter tentacles and 2-headed, hammer-shaped tips. Finally, frogspawn have tentacles with many tips. There's also octospawn, which has even more tips per tentacle, but the lines can get pretty blurry between which is which, especially for frogspawn, hammers, and octospawn. The care for all of them is fairly similar though.
Euphylia like low to moderate flow. The higher the flow, the shorter and more compact the tentacles become. The lower the flow, the more they will stretch out and sway. Although you can feed them, they aren't very strong and the food often gets taken away by shrimps or hermit crabs. They are capable of photosynthesis and will grow in moderate to high lighting. For this reason, we'll be putting ours higher up in the tank. We've got a small hammer coral with green tips. We put super glue on the frag and attached it to the right side of the tank by itself. We're hoping to start a Euphylia garden in this spot. Although Euphylia can be aggressive and sting other corals, they don't typically sting each other, so we feel safe putting a few varieties together here.
Unlike our soft coral, these send out sweeper tentacles to sting other corals, so it's recommended that you keep them on their own. Torch coral send out the longest sweeper tentacles, up to a foot long, so we won't be keeping any in this tank. We'll stick with different hammers and frogspawn. We'll be adding more as the tank grows in.
Here's a look at the tank as it is right now. We've got at least a little coral almost everywhere. Everything's doing well, from the rock flowers to the xenia to the new hammer and the zoas. The baby clownfish are still growing steadily too. We've seen a couple people commenting worrying a nano tank wouldn't make it this far, especially without a filter, and we're proud to report, so far, so good.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know what coral or animal we should add next down in the comments.
And if you like this video, make sure you give us a like and subscribe to follow the rest of our journey. Okay, see you next time.